Welcome to another episode of Living Out Loud with Loretta. Tonight, my guest is a man who is all about discipline. In particular, I would say sexual discipline. I will let him tell you himself. His name is E.L. Discipline. Please, hello, and please introduce yourself.
that moniker rings bells from the heavens to the earth. Thank you for having me on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm E.L. Discipline, author of Not One, Not Two. Just want to get that right. Not three, not four, not, and I'm going in order. Not five, not six. So let me make sure that they see the titles. But hold on. Last but not least, lucky number 7. Books. I'm also one half of the host on the Discipline Therapy podcast. Shout out to my other host, Suhey Sotomayor. I know she's watching this show. Just wanted to shout her out. But you are partly right on discipline in the sexual aspect. One. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I predicate it around everything. So as you can see, fitness, as you can see, with the books, mind, soul. So this goes deeper than, the discipline aspect. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I want to talk about is, before we get into this, I want to assume that you're from the UK.
I am indeed, yes.
Okay. But do you currently reside here?
I'm a New Yorker via London. That's what I like to say.
Okay.
Thank you for agreeing to to chat with me on my show. Now, I'm very intrigued by what it is that you're about. And let's start with your name. So explain. So you hinted at the fact that the discipline, it covers all areas of life, right? It's not just the sexual aspect, part. Because with my show, it's all about balance as not just parents but adults and whatever, trying to sort of maintain that, and that does include our sexual life. So what is it that led you to this point where you are not only the author of 7 books, but you have this podcast, which is centered around discipline? Tell me about this.
Discipline therapy is pretty much tough love. You know what I mean? Emphasizing on the terms discipline and therapy. We talk about things that are completely off limits. We talk about things that people don't want to talk about. We talk about things that are real issues. We're not a celebrity gossip podcast. I'm not throwing shade, but this is just facts. We're not a sports podcast. We're not, we have something for everybody. We're multidimensional, including the hosts. When you look at the titles of my books, even though, and we're going to get into who I am, when people see and know who I am, because I have fans who know me, who are tuning in, they may have this misperception of, his books are going to be one way because this is who he is. You know what I mean? That's false. So it's like, if you come to our podcast thinking that it's going to be one dimensional, don't underestimate it, because you're going to fuck yourself up. You go on my Instagram, Facebook, you scroll down, you see I'm multidimensional. My books, different genres. You know what I'm saying? The importance of discipline is a self-help book. There's not even profanity in there. You know what I mean? So when I have my first kids, in the future, that's the book I want them to read first, prior, to reading the other ones who are is more erotic and about BDSM. And I don't want to get too into it because we'll be here for 3 hours. But this first book right here, the seduction
What's
of this,
what's Seduction of Discipline?
the seduction of discipline. This
Okay.
book right here is a that book is multidimensional. First, it embodies my lifestyle as a real dominant. And if people don't know what a dominant is or a master in a BDSM lifestyle, they need to get that first book, because that book is also education. I break down what the acronym BDSM stands for. You know what I'm saying? People have a misconception because they've seen 50 Shades. And the reality is, I'm going to be frank with you. BDSM didn't become popular till that movie came out. Most people weren't paying attention to the books. Women, okay, first of all, women are prone to read more than men. That's a fact. Men have bigger brains than women, but women use their brains more efficiently. That's a fact. So women are prone to read more than men, and they will read something like this at the privacy of their home. They might even be sneak behind their husband or boyfriend, and he doesn't even know she's reading that. Women are prone to do that. Now, like I said, it didn't get popular until the movie came out in, like, I think 2015. But this has been going on since the ancient Egyptians, which were the first on earth. A lot of people don't know that. So this book right here is going to give you education. I dissect the lifestyle. Why did I put that book out? Because I really live it 24/7. And when I saw things like 50 Shades, who was giving a poor representation of the lifestyle, I said, I took it upon myself to say, I'm going to come out with this. You utilize this as a platform to eradicate those misconceptions.
Now
Because
explain,
I
because I
could,
think there
because
are a lot of women that
yes,
have watched 50 Shades. I'm
because
not one of them
be
that have thought, oh, this is the way. So explain.
because there's a plethora of women who will engage in this lifestyle with a man they think they trust, with a man who's saying, oh, I could do this, let me go to the store and go buy some rope and do this and tie you up. They will get with a man like that without vetting him. And vetting is pretty much an analysis. It's getting to know somebody, studying them without vetting them. And they will get with these guys, and these guys will hurt them. I'm not saying all women, but I'm sure um there has been a plethora of women who have been hurt. There's women who have approached me and have told me, "Oh, I was in this lifestyle. This is that they were telling me." I'm like, "That's not right. What he was doing is not right. Like, do you know that you were in an abusive relationship?" But she didn't know it. She's constantly in the relationship now because she's drawn to it, because it's like, oh, this must be right because it's not the traditional thing. It's not
So
vanilla. It's not
you're
normal.
okay. So you're saying that they were potentially in abusive situations, but misconceiving it as BDSM.
Yes. And a lot of people get
Okay.
that misconception. They associate abuse with BDSM. And that is the big misconception. Because the difference between, I'm gonna brief so we could get into this conversation, because it's gonna flow. Abuse is not planned. Abuse is sporadic. Abuse is spontaneous. BDSM is planned. So whether you're a dom or a sub, which is an acronym for submissive and dominant, whether you're a submissive who's approaching a man, or I'm a sub, I want to engage in this lifestyle with you or whatever it is, she's choosing, because women choose at the end of the day. Whatever they say, this is a fact. Women choose at the end of the day. If I walk up to a woman and I see her at a Barnes and Nobles, at a club or whatever, hey, I like you. How you doing, miss? I think you're beautiful. I want to connect. Can I get your number? Or let me get your number. I don't ask women questions. If I know we're connecting, I'm going to say, can I get your number? Can I get to know you? No, I don't ask questions. That's uncertainty. And in a woman's psyche, she's already not going to trust that, because women are attracted to men who are ready to take charge. So if I'm saying to you, let me get your number, you have to say yes. That's you choosing. You're also choosing to allow me to court you. So women are choosing. So when a sub approaches a potential dom and says, "Okay, I want to live this life with you," she has to study him because she's gonna be the one on the receiving end. If she is saying, "I'm gonna relinquish control and and I'm gonna allow you to lead," she's she's following you almost blindly because she's trusting you to lead. So if you're not guiding her in the right path, she's gonna be fucked up. So there's a lot of women who have PTSD because of this. And I want to make something perfectly clear. Someone may look at this lifestyle and say, "Oh, they may have had a traumatic childhood. They may have been abused when they were kids. They may have they're crazy or this is that." All of these are myths. All of these are misconceptions. Just because somebody enjoys this lifestyle doesn't mean that they had a horrid childhood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's different love languages. You know, what people don't do nowadays is don't put in work.
Oh, explain.
People don't put in work because this is what happens. And a lot of times, and we have a future episode that we speak of this. We speak of that things being put out there into the universe, television, music, social media. These things are influence. Social media is the prime example. Now, everything is at our fingertips now. You see a woman twerking on social media. You see a woman half naked on social media. These guys sending dick pics, they get the access. Now, because of these women, they're doing that, they start generalizing women and think, oh, these women could do this. So now they feel free to want to expose themselves and want to do this and want to be bold. This is not work. Also, on the women's part, because of this social media stuff, it's like this becomes this texting game. People are now transitioning into introverts. You understand? They're antisocial. They meet somebody in public, they're shy. They don't want to walk up to them. Nobody wants to go on dates anymore. Nobody's having conversations on the phone anymore because of this, because of social media. I'm biased about the BDSM lifestyle because the BDSM lifestyle is one step up from traditional. You remember like the traditional relationships back in like the 1950s when like a woman would cook, a man would do yard work, she would bring him his plate, run his
Yes.
bath, whatever it was. That doesn't go
Yes.
on to this new generation. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't go on in this new generation. There's an imbalance. You know what I'm saying? There's an imbalance. Most women, not all of them, most women are diving into their toxic masculine. And most men are diving into their feminine. We are born with two energies, masculinity and femininity. And it's like women are not being women and men are not being men, and this is the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's
Explain. So are you saying it's an evolvement, or it's a positive thing that men are
this
exploring their
let,
feminine side and women are exploring their masculine side, or it's not positive? What are you saying?
I'm saying that when a man is exploring his feminine side, it depends on the circumstance. I'm going to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
When he's cuddling you, when he's
Mm-hmm.
being affectionate, when
Mm-hmm.
he's showing you love, when he's giving you that emotional support, he's giving you a shoulder to cry on when you're venting. That's him diving into his feminine, his divine feminine
Energy. Mm-hmm.
energy. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There, when women are diving into their toxic masculine, these women are these women are doing. I don't want to say a specific thing because I don't want to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. But you might have these women who are they might have two men. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
live a poly relationship. However, they're in denial themselves. They live a poly relationship because they have two men that they're dating.
Right.
She's not honest with both of these men.
Okay.
She might be having sex with one and using the other one for money, bringing her food, um, um, just using him, being that shoulder to cry on or whatever it is. She has two men. For her, she has a complete relationship. She might be
Mhm.
with the bad boy who's giving a good dick. She might be with the beta male, the simp who's giving her everything she wants, buying her flowers every day. Oh, I'm at work right now. I gotta go on break. Can you bring me food? You know what I'm saying? This is the toxic masculine. You know what I mean? This is not in women's DNA to be this way. So in this book, the seduction of discipline, I break down the acronym BDSM. I break down connection. I break down love. I talk about sapiosexuals. If you and the audience is not familiar with sapiosexuals, that is an individual, male or female, who are attracted to intelligence. You don't need to
Oh.
be intelligent yourself, but you are
Mhm.
attracted to it.
Mhm.
Most women are sapiosexuals. Like I said prior, men have bigger brains than women, but women use it more efficiently. Women are prone to learn more than men. Women are trainable. They're coachable. Most alpha males, and these are the fake alpha males, because a real alpha male believes that I'm a student of the game. Learning is never sufficient. Like I could read one book. I feel like I'm insufficient. I require more. A real alpha male, but a fake alpha male, like a jock or whatever it is, he's gonna say, oh, I know everything already. I don't need to read his book. I don't need to read her book. I don't need to know about that. I don't need to listen to that. I know that shit already. I know about sex. I know about cosmic sex. I know about souls connecting. I know about sapiosexuals and shit. Like, I know about dominance. Oh, you a sub? You want me to choke you? Misconceptions. Big misconceptions. People are not taking time to get to know each other. There's an imbalance. Part of that imbalance is, what I mentioned prior, the things that's being shoved in our faces. Look at it like this: we are a heart. We're all a heart, and connected to that heart is like a plug, right? And that plug goes into that outlet. Now that outlet is absorbing music, it's absorbing books, it's absorbing television shows, reality shows, whatever it is, people, other people. All of that is energy. We are spirits in flesh. A lot of people don't understand that. There's a big misconception that we live in a physical realm. No, the reality is we live in a spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? So I talk about a lot of this stuff on here. Don't allow the cover to fool you, because you look at someone like me, I'm tatted and muscular, and I have a deep voice. Oh, he might be a hood nigga. That book might be ghetto. No, you know what I'm saying? Don't judge the book by its cover, because I talk about all these things. I don't just talk about what people want to say, 50 Shades of Gray. You know what I'm saying? I make what's his name? Christmas Gray. I make him look like Winnie the
Christian.
Pooh.
Christian.
I make him look
They
like
couldn't.
Winnie the Pooh. First of all, I'm black. I'm black. We stop at that. We stop at that. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. You know, my like my life as a dominant. Okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Being a dominant, that means you are in control of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, everybody around you, energies, and what you're doing. That's what being a dominant is. That's what being a master is. There's two different types. There's a master that lives in a BDSM life, and there's a dominant that's 24/7. So that master that lives in a BDSM life, he could be a beta male outside. He could be a guy that he gets in his relationship and he's cool with it being 50-50. But when he gets in that sexual environment, he transitions. He's that top, she's that bottom. And I'm throwing terminology that a lot of people are unfamiliar with. They got to get that first book, The Seduction of Discipline, because I break down the terms. I dissect everything. everything that you're not going to get in an hour and 30 minutes, or I don't remember how long that movie was in a movie. I'm a meticulous man. And what that means, I'm going to elaborate. We had an arrangement today, correct? Tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So by the time I knew that we had an arrangement, I was already planning. That's one example. Number
Indeed.
two, today, was I 5 minutes late? 10 minutes late?
No, neither.
Was I on time?
Yes.
That's another thing. That's part of discipline. Your show starts at 8 o'clock. By 4 p.m., I was already planning, getting my mic check ready, sound check, connecting everything, doing tests, shit, videos and shit like that. I was already planning. An hour before showtime, I'm over here pacing. I'm standing up. Because the thing with me is when I'm in interviews and I know they're going to be an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours long, I'm going to be sitting for a long period of time. I hate that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like, so how do I train myself to do that? Stand and walk until it's time to sit down. That's what I've always done. I've been doing interviews since 2012. Now I have my own show. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, this is part of being dominant. You. Let me tell you something. Being dominant and disciplined are synonymous. So, part of being disciplined is part of being disciplined. Part of being disciplined is being able to hold yourself accountable. So if I know that I'm gonna be late, that's just gonna fucking be a bad look on me, not just you.
Yes.
I have a brand to uphold. I have other people supporting my brand. This is bigger than me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So everything that I do is planned. Everything that I do is meticulous. That's a dominant. Whether it's
So
a female,
it's
whether it's a female,
discipline with every area of your life.
Whether it's a female or a male, that's part of being a dominant. It is synonymous to control. It's not domineering. It's not being controlling. It's having control in your life and everything and everyone around you.
I love that clarification. Please repeat that. It's
part of being a dominant.
Yes.
No gender base. Could be male or female. It's about having discipline. It's about having control in your life, with your energy, your mind, all aspects of your life and everyone around you as well. So if you see somebody that says they're a dominant and they're always late, they don't have discipline. How can they be a dominant? How could they be somebody that's an alpha? No, they can't. Because you're not just holding people in your circle that you're associated with around you. You're holding yourself accountable first. I've always stated this, and I state this in the book. You have to dominate yourself prior to anybody else. Self-discipline, self-awareness, motivation, self-development. This lifestyle
How does that start for people that don't have that gene? For people that find it difficult to be self-starters and self-motivators? How do they do that?
So I come from a family of alphas. That's number one. Number two is my late grandmother. And if you watch my show, you always see I talk about her. She was pushing what was repressed. You understand? She was pushing this out of me since I was 8 years old. She saw something in me that I didn't see. Telling me manning up. Tell me to man up. Tell me I'm a king. Who's telling their kid they're a king at 6, 7, 8 years old? That's playing into your subconscious. Words are electromagnetic vibrations. That's a fact. Words are electromagnetic vibrations, I'll reiterate. So that means that words are energy. These words in here is energy. It's going to change a woman's life. It's going to change a man's life. They're absorbing that into their subconscious. That's why I say it's very imperative that you protect your energy. It's not just things, it's people.
Who you surround yourself with, who
Yes.
you choose to get involved with.
Yes.
And
Like,
how does your so what you, because I've watched, you know, you and your co-host of your show, the Discipline Therapy podcast, right? So, and that does cover all areas of life. It is predominantly a sexual thing, sexual life, right? Which
well,
neither of you being
well,
married.
you're talking about the show, or you're
The
talking
podcast,
about,
absolutely, yeah, the podcast.
okay,
Yeah. So how do you think that for people that are in relationships or married, is this something that they should figure out before they like commit to each other, whether it be via marriage or whatever? And I know that you're single by choice, and you're not a father yet by choice.
Yeah, hold on. Let me correct you. Let me
Yes.
correct you.
Yes.
I am not single, but I am not taken.
Explain.
Okay. I have subs in my life, but nobody owns me. I do the
Can you
owning.
explain what a sub is for my audience that might not know?
Male or female who finds empowerment in yielding
their power
to a superior in whatever capacity.
Okay.
That means that, and I want to make sure I say this rigorously so people could get it in their brain. That means that in all ways, a submissive for 24/7, a true one, is submissive mind, emotionally, and body.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big misconception that subs are just sexual. They're just bedroom subs, which is true. About 98% of women are going to relinquish control when they get in there. They're not skilled at that. If she could be an alpha female, a teacher, a radio personality, a lawyer, a sergeant, whatever type of authority she has in her day to day, she is going to relinquish control when she gets in there because you're a man and she wants to see what you could do.
How is that explained when it comes to same-sex relationships? Do you think there's always one that is a submissive and one that's
I believe
always
this. This is what I believe. There's no middle ground for this. This is what I believe. I believe that you're either dominant or submissive in your relationship, or you're on 50-50. There's no middle ground. And if y'all share the duties, like y'all take turns dominating each other, that's 50-50. But I believe that you're dominant or you're submissive in your relationships. It doesn't matter if it's in the bedroom. It doesn't matter if it's outside of the bedroom. It doesn't matter if it's psychologically, emotionally, whatever it is. You're either dominant or you're submissive, or you're on that 50-50 shit. You need to tell your audience to tune into season 1, episode 12, BDSM 101, because I break down the titles.
Okay.
I break down their roles.
Yes.
A top and a bottom can have a dynamic where he's dominant in bed, but outside of it, he's on some shit like, where do you want to go eat? I don't care. Just, what do you want to eat today? What do you want to do today? When am I going to see you? Because he's on some 50-50 shit. And I'm not saying that that's wrong.
Yes, but
to each their own. Whatever relationship, whatever works for you, works for you. But I'm just trying to differentiate.
Yes.
To let people, so they're aware. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm very interested.
I'm very passionate
as someone in a marriage, for people that have been in relationships for a long time, to understand that. Yeah, people will say, "Oh, I've been married," or "I've been with this person for a long time."
Yeah, I love this. I love this right here. I love this right here. This is me rubbing my hands. I love this right here.
If to my audience that are listening, he's rubbing his hands.
Check this. If you're in a marriage, first of all, this stuff should be established from the beginning. However, if you've already invested time, I'm not going to say walk away from them, because if you're married, it's hard. If you had a boyfriend, whatever, you're single. Because when you do your taxes, you're not putting boyfriend. You're putting single. They ask you if you're single, divorced, widow, whatever. You're not putting boyfriend on there. So you're single. You're not taken until you marry. Mm-hmm. So when you're married, because divorce takes a while. You could separate with somebody, but you're still legally married.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're married, I'm not going to say just walk away from them. What I'm going to say is be as open as possible. One of the things about this lifestyle is this lifestyle, there's no judgment. You will witness and you will hear when you listen to our podcast. I always say judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free in the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
I emphasize on those words.
Mm.
In this lifestyle, there's no judgment. BDSM is not associated with inadequate development. That means that if a woman comes here fucked up, because let's be honest, and you don't have to agree with me, a lot of women coming into relationships are fucked up. That's a fact. They had a man that cheated on them.
I can't possibly agree or disagree because I don't know all relationships. I know that all adults, once they reach adulthood, are fucked up.
Okay, good. They're fucked up. So whether they've had past experiences with men, this is that, they're generalizing men, or men are dogs, whatever it is. He cheated on me, lied to me, whatever. She's gonna go into that relationship with walls. Women are prone to have more walls than men because women are more emotional than men. And when a woman puts her all in a man, she puts her all in a man. A man is not putting his all in you. He might say, you have my heart, but he might not give you his mind and his body. But a woman is going to give you her mind, she's going to give you her body, and she's going to give you her soul. So what I'm going to say is, I feel that it is up to the man to set the law, because I believe whoever is more honest in the relationship has the most control. Because the person who's the most honest in the relationship, that other person is following your lead. Most women are not going to be, and I say most purposely, because they're like, most for me is like 75%. The 25% do this, but the 75%, most don't do this. They're not going to be straight up with you in the beginning because they're afraid of rejection. Why don't you think women walk up to men and ask them out and give them the numbers that the guy they really want? They see a guy in the club. Oh, he's handsome. He's tailored suit or whatever. Maybe he's tatted, muscular. Let me walk up to him. How many women you know are doing that?
I'm one.
Okay, but you part of the 25%. You're
and
not part
friends.
of the 75.
Me
You're
and
not
my
part
friends.
of the 75%. You're not part of the 75%. But most women are not doing that because they're thinking, they're second guessing, third guessing, quadruple guessing. Is he gonna like me? Is he gonna turn me down? This, that. They're not as confident. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's up to the man to be honest, and the woman is gonna follow. I promise you, because now you're building you're building a space. You're allowing her into this space, right? Psychologically, emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And this space is going to transcend parameters of what basic relationships have to offer now. You see, because now you're allowing her this safe place to like be open without judgment. Oh, I'm not going to resent you. I'm not going to call you a slut or hoe or whatever it is. If you're telling me this is what you feel, a lot of women are afraid of that. You know, especially somebody that they respect and they look up to, they're not going to want to disappoint them. If a woman has this in her for such a long time and she's with a regular guy and she says, man, I want to be honest with him now, but what if he rejects me? I mean, I could tell him I like for him to choose my nail color, but what if he thinks I'm a weirdo? He doesn't even notice when I do my hair, but I want to get choked in bed, but I don't know how he's gonna feel. And there's other guys that will be like, oh, you want me to kill you? You're gonna call the cops? I'm inadequate. This is a fact. Women have approached me on this. I'm not going to drop names, but I get a lot of women who DM me, email me, asking me for advice. Oh, my man is doing this. I think I have a beta male. What should I do? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not just speaking on my ass here. Like I'm speaking from what the women have been telling me. From what
do you advise? How do you? Because I think I personally think as someone that started late in her exploration of sex, and that was a choice. And I'm very happy that I did. But then I did go and explore, and I loved it. I'm very, as you, I'm sure, can see, I'm very open and very vocal about what it is that I like, what it is that I want. But there are a lot of people that are not so comfortable being open and honest about what it is that they like, what it is that they don't like. What do you advise for people that are?
Were you always like that?
From the beginning, I think I was too inexperienced in the beginning to know. And once I did, because of my personality, it made
Okay.
sense. And listening to other mentors, I guess, that didn't know they were mentoring me.
That's what I was going to say earlier. When you were saying, how does somebody get into this? That's the thing. Mentors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know why a lot of men are feminine nowadays? Because most of them didn't grow up with their fathers. That's one of the things. Most of them probably don't have good relationship with their fathers. And it's not just that, it's father figures. So let's say you grew up without your father, but you have like an uncle or something, or you met a guy in the street or something like who's showing you the game, who's teaching you the ropes about life. That matters. Those mentors matter. Those mentors help you. One of the things with me is it wasn't just my grandmother. It wasn't just the fact that I come from an alpha family. It was sports. It was these coaches who was teaching me discipline, teaching me hard work, teaching me leadership, teaching me responsibility. If you are not on time, you're doing push-ups and running laps. If you miss practice, you're not playing in the games. I love to play football and wrestle, so I'm going to make practice. If you're not doing well in class, you cannot play in the games. This is discipline. This is incentives. If you do something, you're going to get a reward.
So
it's motivation.
Okay, so tell me. And I
so these women, these women.
Tell me, moving forward, for people that have children that are potential mentorees, like how does that, because looking at the generation of children today, and you mentioned the fact that you're a Black man or whatever else, and that is a very important thing, especially in the climate that we're looking at today. What is your advice, and how can children that don't have the luxury of having someone that can mentor them just in life in general, which obviously then feeds into their behavior with a partner or whatever else, how do they achieve that comfortability, that comfort, that power, that without anyone guiding them? How does that happen?
Self-development. Start going to the gym. Get your body right. That's important, because when you go to the gym, you're exercising, you're gaining energy. Read. Listen to more like audio books and podcasts more than you watch like music videos or music. Because the music nowadays, I don't even listen to the new generation music. I listen to a lot of 90s R&B, slow jams. I listen to old school hip hop. I try to give the new.
Can we talk about that for 2 seconds? Because literally, this is something I feel like I talk about almost every day. The type of music that is media. So popular. Yeah, what is it?
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm old or whatever, but why is it that 90s music or before then, the topics were not so graphic?
Let me tell you about you. You're not old. You're not this, you're not that. This is the thing with you. You are an alpha. You don't require validation. That is the difference. That is confidence.
My mother validated.
A lot of people are sheep. And they are going to follow. So the thing with music, let me teach you something. The thing with music is this. It is psychology. Remember back in the day when they didn't, well, I wasn't this old. I'm only 34, so I can't really say remember back in the day. But let's just use our imagination. Let's say we're really, really old people. Remember back in the day when they didn't have commercials? What did they use for advertisement? Word of mouth, right? Okay. So now everything is put in front of us. That's influence. That's psychology. You could hear something that sucks every day, every hour. You go to a club one day, you're drunk. Now you're inebriated. You're going to start, this kind of sounds good. That's what it is. It's all marketing. It's all advertisement. If I keep putting something in your face, if I keep putting something in your face, you're going to say, oh, I'm curious. I want to get that. I want to see that. I want to hear that. I want to engage in that. Oh, that lifestyle looks interesting. I want to do that. That celebrity relationship. Oh, I want their relationship. This is it. This is what separates the wolves from the sheep, because most of these people are following. It's only a 2% of people who are going to say, I'm going to like what I want to like, and I don't need no validation. You think I'm weird? That's cool. I'm comfortable with it. You're also comfortable in your own skin. Okay, I talked about this in an episode, Alpha Dominant. I said that when I was 11 years old, my voice was like this. People made me self-conscious about it. They would say here, they would say, Edson. And, sometimes the substitute teachers would be like Edison. And I'd be like, it's Edson, no I. Edson in French and Spanish. But it's Edson, no I. People look at me, what's his problem? Looking at me. Or, hey, Edson, are you here? And I'll say, here, with my deep voice at 11. People look at me like, you have like a grown man voice. Big hands. All these things I felt subconscious about because of what people made me feel. When I started loving this stuff about myself, I was like maybe 12, 13, 14. I'm speaking to women on the phone, and the girls are like, oh man, you sound so sexy on the phone. I love your voice. I'm like, really? I hate my voice. Women can build confidence in a man. Men need women, just like women need men. We are not here without that human connection. I don't care what anybody says. Those rah-rah independent women and I don't need a man stuff, they need men the most. They're just fronting. They haven't found the right one. They haven't found the right one.
Okay, listen, Edson, I'm going to laugh at that. You can't say women that are rah-rah, that we don't need women, we don't need men, that they do. Like everyone has their needs. Everyone knows at some point what they need, what they don't need. Rah-rah, I don't need a man. They could just be women that don't need men.
Hurt.
Well, listen, we're all hurt. We're all hurt. You reach adulthood, we're all hurt. Our hurt levels can vary. We're all hurt. Do you know what I mean? And we see that even more. It's so prevalent right now. We can see it. It's so raw. It's right in front of our faces.
It's all about self-development. Go to the gym. Sign up to the gym or buy some stuff. Like I built a home gym. Build some stuff or whatever. Start working out. Work on your body. Work on your mind. Whatever you're absorbing. Reading books, music, this, that. Choose the right type of women you want around you, because you could always tell the character of Ben by the women he associates himself around. All these things play a factor in building your new self. People say, oh, well, I'm under reconstruction, new year, new me. A lot of people say that every year. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's like that's part of the development. Work on your soul, meditation. Me, every morning, I need at least 20 minutes by myself to meditate. And everybody meditates different ways. They might pray. They might just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm in the shower, I'm standing, I'm meditating. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're washing yourself, you're also those energies. You're washing those energies. So like I said prior, we're spirits in flesh. You know what I'm saying? All these major components, if you train them, you will elevate at a high frequency. I am not lying to you. I will not steer you wrong. If you listen to my podcast, everything is consistent.
So it's that thing of working on yourself. Do you know what I mean?
You got to work on yourself first. You got to love yourself. You got to care about yourself. You got to validate yourself. You got to discipline yourself, hold yourself accountable. You have to put yourself in positions to be successful. whether it's with other people, getting the right jobs. You might have somebody who's been in a job for like 20 something years. They don't want to get climb the ladder and they're miserable. Why are you still there? Everything about getting to that next level requires a change. When one door closes, a bigger one opens. If you have an abundance mindset, you're going to build a lucrative one as well. This is a fact. This is part of developing this. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's in you. A dominant, a submissive, this is something that's in you. This is not something that you watch on TV. This is not something that you go on chat rooms and internet for. This is not something that you read about and you're like, oh, okay, I could do this. Let me go to the hardware store, get some rope. I know how to shake. So no, the bedroom is the last thing when it comes to this. Because a real dom is not going to take it there. A real dom is not going to take it there.
A lot of people don't
A
think,
real dom,
because they're taking it, they're putting the bedroom as the primary thing, as that's where it starts and whatever else.
That's
so
only
that's something
20%.
Okay, explain that, because a lot of people think otherwise.
That's only 20%. Okay. Trust. The biggest thing about trust is letting go. Would you concur?
Absolutely.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So I always believe that the woman gives it up. The man doesn't take it. The woman is the one that's like, oh, I'm going to give you my panties. I'm going to let you, you know what I'm saying, pipe me down or whatever. It's going to be the night. Tonight's going to be the special night where I give it to you.
Did you say pipe me down? Did you say pipe me down?
Yes. Yes. Do you understand that lingo? I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? She's giving you that power. It is a power exchange. She's giving it to you. So you can't, because there are some women who may meet a guy the first night. She don't need to know about him and she does her thing. To each their own. Most of those relationships don't last too long. But
sometimes a woman chooses to have those relations because that's where she is. She just wants to be a pipe me down, get the fuck
casual,
out.
Yeah, casual dating or whatever. But that's not BDSM.
Not dating. It's called fucking. Pipe me down, get the fuck out.
I got a fuck buddy. Yeah. It's it's not even friends with benefits.
It's not even friend. I don't need to know your name.
No. Yeah. Some women like that. To each their own.
Some men
that's
like
not
that.
Yes, to each their own, but that's not BDSM.
True.
BDSM is synonymous to connection.
Explain that connection.
So when I said earlier about vetting, getting to know the person, studying them prior to getting to that level, that's what that is. So there are some women, like you said, and some men who, oh, I can meet her on the first night and smash and whatever it is. Me, I'm the type of person, even the little I give you is going to make you fall in love. Trust me. You're going to come here thinking, oh, look at him. He's tatted, muscular, this or that. I know what I want from him. You're going to come here thinking you're going to get some good dick. You're going to fall in love. You're going to come here thinking that you're going to give. I'm going to have you giving all. You're going to come here just because you want to be a psychological submissive. You just give me your mind. You might end up giving me your soul. I'm not saying I'm forcing this out of you. I'm saying the type of man I am. My energy is potent. So I know my power. I'm Superman. But when I go out, I'm Clark Kent. So because I know my power, I'm not going to just go around and be like, oh, I beat this girl. She's this, that, and I'm just going to give it. Because I could be igniting something crazy. I could be igniting something that's psychopathic. I could be igniting something that she's on some, oh, I just want to smash type of shit. Then I give it to her so good. She's on some shit like, who's that girl commenting on your post? Who is your co-host? Y'all got something going on?
This has happened to you.
Listen. At the end of the day, men are more prone to be on some friends with benefits than women are. And I say this is solely my opinion. And I say this because women are more emotional. So that means if you are giving her the best dick of her life, you are also educating her in this. Y'all don't have to go out to eat and stuff. She likes the way you are. She sees your accolades, your success. This is when the feelings start. You hungry? You want me to cook you something? It might just come out of nowhere. That's when the feelings start. And you could agree to disagree with me. That's fine.
No,
But
no,
that's where it comes
I
in.
see how it happens. I'm just
That's
not
that's
that girl.
that's that's
But
what I'm saying.
I see
I'm
how it happens.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying this is how it happens. Men are
yeah.
prone to have friends with benefits or just fuck buddies than women, because women are so emotions. And most women, when they have sex, they involve emotions with sex. So if you are giving her the best dick of her life and you are a decent man, you don't have to be the best man in the world. You don't have to give to charity and you're this big philanthropist or whatever, but you have a good heart. You could be a bad boy who has a good heart. She's gonna start to build an emotional attachment to you. She don't have to say, "Oh, I want you to meet my son or daughter or my mom and dad," but she could do certain things where you see her building that emotional attachment with you. She might say, "Let's keep fucking." That's building that emotional attachment for that specific thing. Because the thing is, you was coming on here on some one night stand shit. Why you keep calling me? That's that. You know what I'm saying? So people need to understand energy, because when you have sex with someone, I believe sex is a transformation of energy. It's an exchange of energy. So when you are having sex with them, this is why sometimes these women are considered crazy. They're absorbing that masculine energy. I'm a possessive and territorial dom. So when I put it down on you, if you are taking, if you, let's say you have a male coworker who you say, "Oh, this is my work husband," and y'all take a picture and he got his arm on you, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, make sure he doesn't put his arm around you anymore. I don't care, y'all take it." This is the possessiveness and territorial. She might not even be my woman, but this is something that to me I'm not, like, I cannot break out of. This is who I am. I'm a possessive person. I'm a territorial person. You know, so I'm also Haitian and Dominican, so it's also in my blood. Haitians are very dominant. So to me, it's like I know that I could be this way, and I've told women, I'm like, they're like, "Oh, you're so this is you're so understanding." I say, "Yeah, because you're not my sub. You don't belong to me. But if you belong to me, I'm gonna want your nails a type of way. I'm gonna want to make the decision. I'm gonna want your hair a type of way. If you going out with your friends and you going to the club and you showing cleavage, go change, or you're not going." But before, it's like, "Oh, it's cool." I always say my rules, like, if it's not work and family, answer the phone. If you're in front of friends, I don't care. Answer, because work, you need that for living. Family, that was before I even met you. So I cannot put a stamp on that. It's not fair. I'm strict but fair. Friends, I don't care. But if we're just dating, I might let that slide. When you become my sub, it's like, no, you picking up with friends. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I
Okay,
know how I
so
am, so I'm not just going to engage with whomever.
all right, so this lifestyle, which a lot of women, men, all types would have been maybe first introduced to by the books, by well, maybe the movie more than the books, or the what gosh, 50 Shades of everything, right? So
Listen,
you've been living that lifestyle for a long time, and there's a huge
13 years.
community.
13
13
years,
years,
but I've been
okay.
dominant my entire life.
All right. And there's a whole community that this is a way of
Yes.
life, whether people speak openly about it or not, right?
Yes. And most people
How,
will not speak openly about it because they're going to get those people like, "Oh, you're crazy. This, that." And they don't want to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable enough to talk about this to a point where I have tough skin. You could throw rocks at me, but God may have chosen me to be that beacon of opportunity for someone else. God may have chosen me to be that spokesperson for that, because I might make a difference, especially in the Black community. Coming from where I come from, I'm from the hood. I'm from the gutter. So when people that come from where I come from, they're on some, "Yo, that's some white shit. What the fuck are you doing?" Because that's all they've seen. They never knew about the ancient Egyptians. They never knew about the Roman era. They don't know about that. A lot of people are not educated. And if you want to engage in this lifestyle, This lifestyle is about commitment. It's about committing to each other, because both of you guys are equal in servitude. The dom provides different and the sub provides different. You know what I'm saying? And it's like both of y'all are working. So if you're not trying to be 100% committed, now here's the thing. For people who just want to do this on Valentine's Day, hey babe, it's Valentine's Day. I got some handcuffs. I got this. Let's try this. Fine, because there are some bedroom or sexual subs and submissives. Engage, but, and listen to me verbatim, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. Tell your man, ladies, to make sure he practices, to educate himself, because you don't want to get hurt if you don't know what he's doing. And I needed to say that because a lot of women are going to go in this blindly because of that whole books and whatever, and they're like, oh, this is attractive, let me try it. But you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't even know if he's skilled at what he's doing.
So, okay, please tell my audience, those that are interested, how would they tell their partner to practice? How do they practice?
There's ways that you could do things. You could suggest, you could hint, you could say, hey, baby, have you ever been into this? Do you think you want to try this maybe one day and see how it goes? And if he's completely steadfast, walk away. Because what you're doing is you're going to be miserable because he's not filling the void. You know, that might be something that's really important for you. For some people, it's therapeutic. You might have some masochists out there. It's therapeutic for them. They like getting slapped, whatever it is. There's different types of, they need to get that first book, because I break down everything that I'm saying, masochist sub and all the bedroom sub, psychological sub, which is synonymous to sapiosexual. I break down everything. So I'm not going to reiterate because we'll be here for 3 hours. And I know that I can't stay here for that long. So what they need to do is they need to do their research. They need to educate themselves. They need to talk to their partners, because that's the person that you're engaging with, especially the women. The women need to be more vocal, because you are relinquishing it. You are putting yourself at hand. His life is in your hands. Think of it that way.
How do they get more vocal though? If they're feeling shy or inhibited or whatever, how
like I'm saying, she could send him hints. She could send him hints. She could buy this book and say, hey, baby, I'm going to buy this book. What do you think about it? Maybe that will give him a hint.
I like that.
Maybe that will give him a hint. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times men don't like it when women, when like, let's say, okay, I'm going to make you understand. Let's say a couple is just doing it doggy style for the past 5 years, and they don't do other positions. And he's only given her 2 minutes. Right? Meanwhile, he could do other stuff. Missionary, put her upside down, in the air, up against the wall, floor, on the counter, sideways, spoon. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care to do that. He might have worked an 8-hour shift. He's tired. Boom, this is the easiest access. They may have been doing that. She doesn't want to bruise his ego and say, oh, I want to try different things or whatever. There are certain ways you can approach that. Hey, baby, let's try something new. Maybe this could be fun for the both of us. Hey, I got some whipped cream, some syrup. Maybe this could be fun. Are you into this? This is certain things without being domineering. Because if you're seeming domineering, he's gonna be on some, yo, so you don't like the way I'm piping you? You don't like the way we doing it? Yo, I don't like that shit. Now you guys got problems. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm please excuse that I'm finding it very difficult to hear you don't like the way I'm piping it. It's an interesting phrase.
Yeah, it's a New York thing.
It is a New York thing. Listen, it's very sexy, but it's an interesting phrase. You don't like the way I'm piping it. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay, listen, I'm not going to keep you all night. I do have a dance party to attend with my children. But listen, I'm this in particular for people, because I think because I've been there. So being that person that is single and going out and doing whatever I want with whomever I want, and calling the shots. and I'm happy doing that. But being then in a relationship which is spanning however long, and a lot of people that I know now have been in long-term relationships, how do you keep it going, and how do you express yourself without emasculating or making the other person feel embarrassed or whatever else? So I like hearing it from someone like you.
Doing different things will spice that up. Maybe one day in the summertime you want to take a walk in the park instead of going to the movies. Do different things that will enhance that, because sometimes when you've been doing something for 5 years, it gets repetitive. It's like, yo, this is so fucking mundane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's redundant. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you could just do different things, incorporate different things, talk about it with your partner. That's the biggest thing. And I feel like a lot of people, men and women, most of them, they don't want to get in committed relationships because they may feel that, oh, I'm not going to be able to do the same shit that I was doing.
Listen, what is that? What is that about? Why do people think that?
Listen, you might get with someone who might be comfortable in the poly shit. And that's a different topic. And you might have a girl who might like girls too. And now y'all bring a girl home.
Yes.
And y'all never knew that y'all liked it because y'all never talked about it.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying? This is the beginning. It is relationship 101. It is getting back into the basics, articulating this stuff. Don't yell. Don't, oh, you don't know what I like. How could you be a man? Don't do that. And I'm just throwing these scenarios because I'm an author. So I write a lot of novels. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You could sit down with your partner, go to dinner or something, do something traditional, and speak of this. You understand what I'm saying? And if you guys let this out, trust me, it will be like a monkey off your back. Instead of you having a side dude and sneak. And you don't want to do that maybe, but he's just not satisfying, but he does, but I'm not going to marry him. I'm never leaving my husband. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, you could be open with your husband.
Or vice versa, for a guy to be like, okay, I'm just going to get a side piece because she doesn't do what I want her to do. And but no one's going to know what you want if you don't tell them, or at least hint at what you want.
But I hold the men accountable more because I feel like the men are more dominant, and these are solely my opinions. Men are born with high levels of testosterone for a reason. Men are born to be leaders. So it's like men lead, women follow. So it's like if you set the tone from the beginning, trust me, she will follow that. Let me tell you something, and I'll leave you with this. If you tell a woman straight up, this is how I am, this is what I like, this is the things that I do, she might, if you put the ball in her court to make the choice, she might say, I'm not into this, but I really like this guy. I'll try it. She's going to structure her life around that. This is why a lot of times when women find these men who have betrayed them, they cry and they do all this stuff because they now feel like maybe my whole life was a lie because my whole life has been structured around his and what he's doing and who he is. He's living this total life for how long? Our whole relationship a lie? This is what goes on with women's heads. They may not articulate it, but this is what happens. But if a man says, yo, this is what I like, this is what I do, if you don't like it, you could leave, you put the ball in her court. Now, if she comes to you and says, yo, I'm down, even if she sees a girl commenting on your post or whatever, she can't yell at you and get mad because she already knew what she was getting into. It's like a verbal contract.
So it's about an honest verbal contract, right?
Yeah. Some people might have contracts. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They might be rich and they don't want shit to get out there. And hey, you've got to sign this to, this is going to be on some behind the door stuff or whatever. I don't know. I'm an author. Like I said, I build scenarios in my head.
I like that.
But people could be doing this for real. You know what I'm saying? They could have contracts or whatever it is, but this is all about it. It's about communication. It's about accepting each other, and it's about understanding. Learn each other's love languages. Everybody has different love languages. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has an affirmation love language. She likes to be called good girl. She likes to be called you're mine. She likes to be saying, oh, you're positive reinforcement. You're doing a good job. I'm going to give you this as a reward. That motivates her. That's a love language. A guy might say, oh, I want aftercare. Massage me. Serve me. I'm a king. I like to be served. That's my love language. Learn people's love languages. Stop being lazy.
All
Talk
right.
to each other and understand what this person is. I accept you for who you are. I'm not trying to change you. That's big.
That is big.
I know you gotta go. I could be here for like ever. I
Because
really want to thank you.
You're enormously passionate about it, and I love that you are. Whether whether people agree with you or not agree with you, I think the fundamental things are about, like you said, learn people's love language and communicate and be brave enough to be honest about what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. I think those are the fundamental things. That's where a lot of people go wrong.
Absolutely, and it's fear.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it has to do with fear. If I tell her, the guy, she might leave me. She might think I'm this. If I tell him, he might think I'm a slut. He might think I'm this. He might, he might have all these things. Stop assuming. Stop assuming what your partner's gonna do. Just do it.
Yes. They need to be brave, and that's the thing. Is but how do you instill the bravery to allow, because I'm still astounded by some stories I hear about.
Listen. I've read a quote somewhere. What you want is on the other side of fear. I live by that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll have you on the. You know what? I definitely want to have you on the show. We could talk some shit. We will be
talking because
3 hours. There's not gonna be a time limit. You know what I'm saying? But I love your mind. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really appreciative. Really appreciative that you let me come on here to really talk to your fan base.
The people that are getting the courage now, or at least see that there might be a way to kind of gain some knowledge and some way to kind of give themselves the boost and the courage that they need to actually live their authentic sexual life.
Yes, because that's important in a relationship, because when you're connecting on all levels, you want to connect that way too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people, like I said, to me, sex is more than just, oh, I'm horny right now. You know, it's more than that for me. I've always wanted that connection. I've always required that. Like I could never do the friends with benefits stuff. Like I just can't. And plus I'm a possessive territorial dom. So I'm like listen, I'm a gift and a curse for a lot of people. I might be a woman's, listen, I might be a woman's dream and I might be a woman's nightmare. It's no middle ground with me. You're gonna be excited by me or you're gonna be intimidated. There's no middle ground.
Oh my goodness. Are you a Scorpio by any chance?
Yes, I'm a Scorpio.
Of course. All right. I think that's where we'll end the conversation. No, I'm kidding. But thank you. Seriously. Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending the time. I knew you had to be a Scorpio.
I've come to realization with myself too, because like I used to be toxic in my early age. So I've come to realization with that. I went back to my childhood and those traumas, and I've accepted those things. And that's a big thing that people don't do. They don't go back to their traumas in childhood and really accept things about themselves, their flaws. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm perfect. That might not be perfect to someone. Like, why does he have to? He's perfect, but he just has to be this way. Could he just eradicate that part and then he's perfect? You know what I'm saying? It might be a flaw, but I've accepted everything with me.
But no one's perfect. But you're perfect for someone like this. Do you know what I mean? Yes. No one's perfect. That's just
absolutely. And to be honest with you, I don't want to be perfect for every woman. I don't want to be perfect for every dude or whatever, because you can't. I believe you can't trust somebody if everybody likes them. They're playing. I feel like they're playing both sides of the fence. You like Two-Face or something.
Woo. Yeah.
I'm gonna have you on the show.
All right. Let's discuss a date and time.
Yeah, we'll DM or email.
For sure.
Let me know what works for you, and I'll talk to my co-host, and we'll make time.
Bloody marvelous. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Thank you once again for having me.
I like it when you take control, even if you know that you don't want me. I'll let you play the role. I'll be your animal. My mama likes to sing along with me, but she won't sing the song. If she reads all the lyrics, she'll pity the man I know. But so puff guy. I'm the bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the bad guy. Oh, I'm the bad guy. Thank you again for tuning in to Living Out Loud with Loretta. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend or several friends. Post a screenshot of this episode on your Instagram stories and tag me at Loretta Nakwacha. You can also watch this episode with a cold beverage on my YouTube channel. The link is posted below. Lastly, if you have the time, please leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts so that we can continue sharing stories, singing songs, and living our lives really out loud.